Welcome to this time out with Marcus Ikure. You recall a few days ago, I spoke on one of my broadcasts, I spoke on the reason people see work as punishment. That is the reason for the high rate of workers' turnover or workers' apathy in Nigeria. The video has gone viral and a lot of people have contacted me on the need to speak to the solution to the challenge. And in the next few minutes, that's what we shall be doing. And number one reason, if we must solve that problem, the number one thing entrepreneurs or business owners must do is to improve on their remuneration system. This is very critical, very important. In Nigeria, it's quite unfortunate or sad to say that the capitalists, majority of them treat the worker as slave, which is really nothing to write home about. They see these workers as people who have no minds of their own, who have no plans for themselves, who have no objectives of their own, and it's really bad. The primary reason for going into business that these entrepreneurs have for going into their various businesses is actually to make profits. Now, if your primary objective of going into business is to make profit, you should also know that the various individuals working for you have their own objectives too. And that's why you talk about a management objectives today. So when you're unable to manage the objective of your company, and that of your workers, when you're unable to marry them systematically by way of effective management, you're likely going to have problems, in terms of relationship with these people, and they are going to develop some very funny kind of character. So remuneration package for workers must be improved upon, and what does this tell you? Entrepreneurs, the capitalists, they make so much money. But as they are making money, do they put into consideration the interest of their workers? There has to be some scientific way for measuring the remuneration, that's the prosperity of the organization, and that of the staff of the organization. It's very important because income of most organizations keep growing, especially those who are into production sectors or who are into production area. They keep making more money, and there's stagnant or constant rate of inflation that your worker, your staff, has no power over. Now you can increase the price of your products to increase income. But most times what we see is that the entrepreneurs, the capitalists, do not really bother on increasing the income or the salary of their staff. So there has to be some scientific way of measuring, the remuneration system for your workers. That is to say, a scientific system that will go in the same proportion that the salary of your workers and the prosperity of the organization will be placed, in the same altitude, proportional altitude, so that as company is doing well, your staff also is doing well. Until this is done, the workers will continue to see work as punishment. That is number one. Now, much to that I've just said, it's only in Nigeria you find somebody who invests as much as 1 billion to 5 billion naira establishing a business. And he or she tells you that the most I can pay for someone to manage this whole business is 50,000 naira. What is 50,000 naira compared to 5 billion? And you expect that person not to think of other ways he or she can cut corners? It's not possible. Let's be very honest to ourselves. Now, the number two solution is workers must try as much as they can to entrepreneurs must try as much as they can to put themselves in the shoes of their workers at times. This is very imperative. Now, how do you treat your workers? In my very eyes, I've seen an entrepreneur, a capitalist, slap his staff, his members of staff, and even flog them, beat them up. For crying out loud, they are not your children. Even if they are your children, you won't beat your children the way you do that. You won't treat your children the way you treat them. So it's not proper. You should know that they are human beings. There is a saying by my tribe, Urobo people, that, Adai Gofwa. What does that mean? That the root of money must be kept clean if you want the money to be coming. So if these people are your working machine, if they are your production machine, you must keep them very good, keep them going, make them happy, so that your income will keep flowing in. That is very imperative. So let's try as much as possible to put ourselves in their shoes. Let's treat them well. Now, if they do something wrong, let us have measures, as in policies in place for taking care and trashing their issues and their offenses. Not really going so physical with them like that, like what you see so many capitalists or business owners do. So that's number 2. Number 3, we should try as much as we can to create what I call imaginary percentage for error. Now, this error could mean maybe some sort of sharp practices, but it should not be written.